Hi folks. Well, I just took Bambi out briefly. I went to the shops as well. See, well, because he was in the car and he was stinking the car out, so I thought, okay, get him out of the car, let him have a little run. And so yeah, he did his business. That's good. I wasn't stinking out the car after that so much. So yeah. Anyway, with regards to the church and people, oh yeah. Well, earlier I realised something that I'd said before. I can't remember when. I think it was to do with something the Oasis Church. Yeah, because they were saying that I have a pastor and that is Jeff, and that I should engage with him. Well, the fact is, always in America, very difficult to engage with someone who's not here, really. Yeah. So, yeah, okay. That was not true. But I think at that point in time, I said, right, that's it. I'm giving up on church. But the thing of it is, yeah, I didn't want to do that because, well, part of me didn't want to do that because obviously, I talked about the fact that there shouldn't be all these other churches, that there should only be the Pentecostal church now. Yeah, and in that conversation with the associate pastor today, we were talking about the Trinity, and he said, well, the view of the church and all the churches that believe in this, like the churches they're connected to, they are settled. That view is settled, unarguably settled. And I realised, okay, that's actually quite interesting to hear, that point about settled. Because that's why there still is a Catholic Church. That's why there still is a COE Church or Anglican. That's why there still is a Baptist Church, a Methodist Church, United Reformed Church. Because they were settled in the understanding that what they believed was true. Even though the evidence was quite clear that God had moved on. They weren't prepared to see that because they had that point that what they believe is true settled. And when you are settled, you won't hear anything that could come against it. And it is a ridiculously stupid position to have. The reason why is because, well, for me, example, I'll just share my understanding of that. Because that's all I can really. Even on the things that I'm pretty sure of, I can only be at maximum 99%. I can't be 100% on. The reason is because I know there's so much in the Bible that we still don't know, that we still don't understand. There's so much that we just don't understand. I mean, as I say, recently I was doing a bit where I asked the question of God, why is there still death? What he put on my mind, and the answer led me to the scripture that Paul wrote. Well, to think that people have read that and read it 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 and read it, and they didn't quite understand what it meant. Because that understanding, and things like that are just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. When you see that, it's beautiful, but it's also, it helps you to understand that there are no certainties, because with there being so much that we don't know, we can't be saying with 100% certainty that one thing is absolutely true in the respect of how we understand it. Because, put it this way, the Trinity isn't written down in the way in Scripture that is absolutely and totally understandable. As in, is it free? Is it one person with three strong personalities sort of thing? Or personas? Or is it three separate individuals that make up a Godhead? Does the Bible really say that? In some ways it does, because in some ways it says, it says many things. But they could be taken either way, and they have been. Therefore, it's an unknown. We can't be sure on that. So when anyone says we're settled, oh, okay. Now, so when I got back, I spoke to God about it, and I realised that I was trying to keep the door open, and God keeps trying to close it. God is saying to me, He doesn't want me sharing anything with these churches now. Not a thing. He wants there to be no connection between me and them now. Well, first, when I keep on saying that the churches have nothing to offer me, the reason why is because if I felt, even for a second, that any of these churches were willing to deal with their issues and had a desire to do that, had a desire to bring people to maturity, then I would keep it stum. I would give them a real chance to do that and do anything I could to help them. But I don't think that's the case. I don't get the impression that that is the case. So this whole point that that to say that church can ban people from entering their church, and they think that it's okay to do that for various reasons, but it all comes down to somebody got offended. If somebody gets offended, then they all think that they can ban you. And this is just like the situation with regards to the SSPCA and the lawyers and the previous neighbours. God uses what's already there in people. God doesn't force. God never forced the people in the church to deal with things in the way they did. It's to say, today the associate pastor was telling me how people have been watching my videos and reporting back to him the problems, the unkind things that I'm saying about him or the church. Rather than those people actually speak to me about it, Well, as I say, so certainly with that being the case, do I want to do anything in any way, shape or form to help anyone who feels it's okay to watch a video? Now, I've watched videos and I've disagreed with people. But when I disagree, if I'm going to give a thumbs down, I'm going to tell them why. I'm going to tell them what I see about it. I saw a video the other night talking about Babylon. But it was an hour, just over an hour and 2 minutes long, something like that. The basic message was that he was talking about Daniel and talking about identity and who Daniel knew he was, and how he wasn't going to be swayed by the temptations or swayed by what other people were trying to do. And basically saying in the end, well, okay, we're going to be faced with that. It took over an hour to say that. So I put a comment saying, you do realise that people get bored very, very quickly. And so you're saying that people need to actually, because the title of the video was, you need to know this. Well, okay, if you need to know this, cut it down from an hour to 10 minutes maybe. Because basically what you're saying is the Lord said, I'm not of this world, same as you are not of this world. Or, when you're not of this world, same as I'm not of this world. So really the question is, what you of? Yeah, and act accordingly to that. That was basically what he was saying. And I said, well, I've answered that in 19 words. Yeah, for you to take over an hour to present what is basically a TED talk on this subject and say this is something we really need to know, cut it down. Cut it down to a bite size where people can actually have it. Yeah, why? I'm not trying to judge the people. I'm trying to say, look, do better. People do get bored and people won't listen to all of it. So if you've got something that's really important in this message, condense it. Yeah, bring it right down to what the important things are. And just deliver that. Yeah, that's me trying to be loving towards these people. Are the people from that church going to honour me in the same way? I doubt it. Well, you take care. God bless. Speak to you soon. Be a blessing. Be blessed. Bye-bye.